Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today it's really special. It's not special because it's a special day. It's just special because yesterday and even today was so exciting. So much information's popped up today and yesterday, by the way. But, Britannia Bank cut crypto ties. That's a bank, by the way, if you don't know that. That's a Bahamas-based US bank that, related to Tether. Another one that just cutting crypto ties. And of course, what happens? USDT demand rised up, Bitcoin price pushed up. With what exactly? You remember with what? Yeah, exactly. You remember that? They announced yesterday, and I have said, hey, cool down. Not just cool down to crash your emotions or just to tell you that's not going to happen or whatever. I just said, cool down when they started to share that, Grayscale won the lawsuit against the ECC. What did crypto Twitter with this information? They thought, oh, that's a perfect situation right now just to push up the price because it's so bullish. Obviously, it's a good sign, but is that bullish to push up the price from almost 26,000 to $2,000 in 1, 2, 3 hours? Do you think that's possible in a normal market where you have different market makers playing around, do you think that's possible? I don't want to crash your vision right now as well, but no, it's not. It's not. It's just, in such case, that's exit liquidity. Check the Ripple price right now. Check what happens when they also said that Ripple won the lawsuit against the ECC, and Ripple would be considered to be not, and that's what they said, it's not a security. They spread this information like it's a fact, and Ripple pushed up a lot. Afterwards, it declined even more than when it started to push up, even to a lower level. Now it's a little bit above, but it's maintaining it around 50 cents. BlackRock, trust application, you remember that? What happens? And what's happening? What's the result? You remember how many times they did that in 2021? Well, at the same time, we have noticing that the big red flag, I would call it Binance, it's becoming more serious. Now the ECC is just mentioning that they are hiding some proofs. No one knows, obviously, otherwise they don't need to hide that, but no one knows what exactly it is. But it looks, at the first view, very serious, and it should support the investigation of the Department of Justice. Oh my God. So, a lot of things happening that, in my opinion, it's not bullish. That shouldn't support a bull run. But that's not new when you're, those who are following me, if you are those guys who are just expecting to follow a new analyst who is just sharing your BS with you, saying up only, I'm sorry, that's not Inspo. Inspo is just checking on-chain data and some other informations and wants to educate you to understand this market in a better way. to make questions and to look for their reply or their response, the answer. Don't to trust just one analyst because he has 200,000 followers or 42,000 followers like my account, because the count of followers doesn't say absolutely anything, just absolutely anything. Well, that's why I'm starting Finissi Academy, just to give you all tools and all the knowledge to be just to be prepared, to prepare yourself, to be ready and to make money with this market. But because my hope is still that this market will change when it's regulated. You know that I'm a big fan of regulation, not because I like regulation at all. I'm working in the banking sector, and even right now I'm working very deep in regulation stuff. And yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of regulation that's reducing the pace of process, that's reducing even and bringing more obstacles to those who need to follow the regulation rules and spending a lot of money, sometimes for something where you say that's nonsense. But it is part of it. It is like, every single nation has its own rules and laws. And also, when we are living there, we need to follow them, those laws. Because, law and order on one side, or every single society needs its rules. Every single market needs its rules. That's absolutely required. To try to avoid that, it's not going to bring to all the actors of this market happiness and money. Just few. And that's something we need to change. Because I think it wasn't even the initial motivation of Nakamoto, for example, Satoshi Nakamoto, to create a digital asset that will bring a fortune to few and a lot of frustration to a lot of people. So we need to change this market, and it's in our hands to do it. And one thing is, don't to be trapped over and over again with always the same patterns. If you check my old tweets from 2021, I were talking so many times about the spot ETF. I was one of the few who were alarming my followers. At that time, I had maybe 3,000, 4,000 followers. So my information was just a pixel in the display. And I mean, it's still, but it was even just then a half pixel. And, I was saying spot ETF is not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you can't regulate a market where even the biggest liquidity generator avoid to be audited. Like Tether. Tether with 80 billion US dollars market cap is the biggest liquidity generator of this market. You don't know exactly how much money they have. I mean, they are providing some information to try to convince you that they are transparent, but they are not. Because attestation is never going to replace a full audit. So, while at the same time, we see that many banks who are involved with Tether, they are cutting ties to crypto. Well, I mean, 100% of them are on different islands in the Caribbean, like Bahamas, for example. And, they are isolated countries where their regulation is maybe completely different, and where it's fine what Tether is doing and hiding information and hiding their reserves. And once again, an attestation will never reply in quality a full audit. And that's what many people just try to ignore, because 80 billion, it's a lot of money, and it's holding the price of the crypto market. Now imagine what would happen if Tether would disappear from one day to another. I mean, nobody knows exactly how much of those 80 billions are involved in crypto. And now imagine what will happen if Binance is also going to collapse like FTX. It's not easy. I'm bullish on the crypto technology. I have to say that. I changed also my mind about crypto. I'm absolutely bullish on crypto technology. In crypto in general, I am. I'm not bullish on the crypto market. I have started to separate both. The crypto technology is our future. The crypto market is not. The crypto market is avoiding that crypto technology could be mass adopted. That's what I see at the moment. And we can do it if we start to regulate the market, if we start to respect some rules and laws, and if we respect the own goals that we defined. Transparency. What is Bitcoin? What is crypto in general? Every single time when you are tracking some transactions. I love that. Show me any alternative financial instrument that gives you the same insight. You will not find that. It's only crypto. And I like that. That's cool. You can do a lot with crypto, and you will see a lot. We are pioneers. How many times I told you that? We are pioneers. Yeah, it is early. We are early. Only because Bitcoin did 70K. Hey, Bitcoin was a big innovation. In 10, 20 years, maybe Bitcoin is not going to be a big innovation anymore. Maybe then BlackRock will launch its own Bitcoin fork with more futures, and maybe, with a little bit, I don't know if it's possible, a different architecture. But, even that would be progress. That's fine if we do it. But the progress has to be positive and not negative. And we are not doing any progress anymore. The progress is happening on the technology side, but the market is not making any progress anymore. Even if the ECC at the end is going to approve an ETF, it's not a progress. A progress means to create just an ecosystem and a market that's safe, that protects not only the big guys, but also the tiny and retailers in general. And at the moment, that's not happening with spoofing, wash trading, and sell the news, for example. So a lot is happening, but unfortunately, at the moment, nothing where I would say that's a game changer. Something is happening at the moment. No. And it's even taking longer than expected. I don't know if it's because of the CBDC that they are really waiting to launch the CBDC and then regulate the whole crypto market, and until then to push the crypto market just down, not to regulate it, just to show, look, that's the evil and the CBDC is regulated, it's the good thing. Or I really don't know the detail why things are happening in that way. I just know that BlackRock is extremely bullish on CBDC. It is what it is. And that all of them are they are, when it comes to crypto, they own shares, or they are, well, doing any kind of business with crypto, owning mining companies, doing, even investing in centralized exchanges. And I mean, we know Fidelity, for example, with Citadel, they did that. So it's not the end, but it takes much more time than we have expected. And and some people are sometimes just asking me and saying, hey, Inspo, did you change your mind? No. Sometimes I do. Sometimes when I see that's a solid direction against what I thought that it would go, then yes, obviously. But in that case, nothing big have changed. Absolutely nothing big have changed. I mean, let us talk about liquidity. Every single market works with liquidity. The liquidity in general is shrinking. And what they are doing, manipulating the price, for example, in SPY with 0 DTE options. Nothing new. You remember 6 months ago where even regulators said, oh, we need to talk about that. We need to check that and stop that. They didn't. It's still running. They are still doing it. They are still pushing SPY with 0 DTE options, forcing the market maker to buy and pushing the futures up. They are still doing it. Crypto in general. But as mentioned so many times, it's just the beginning. And yes, it takes more time. But the pain is not over, in my opinion. Inflation is not over. Inflation never comes and goes just, like the sun every day. It comes in the morning, it goes just in the evening. Inflation comes in waves. And the big wave wasn't here yet. Saudis now even saying that they are going to cut the production even more. Some countries, like in Spain, for example, inflation is bouncing and going up because of the gas prices. And that will have a bigger impact to other countries as well, while, for example, the Chinese economy is not doing well. Also something that it was expected. I mean, the whole COVID thing, that was just, it triggered something. I mean, just to open and to let the printers work 24/7 at the central bankers and to hope pumping all this liquidity is going to be and end well for the economies, the global ones, while at the same time on top the geopolitical situation is changing. It's stupid. But that's what they thought, and it seems they are still thinking it could happen. So let us check now what the market is doing. Once again, be extremely careful where you have your bitcoins, your crypto. Know your keys, know your bitcoins or assets, whatever. Have that in mind. Okay? Because I'm noticing, you remember the net flows that doesn't match with the rest information. Something is happening behind. If really something is going to happen with Binance, and if it's maybe even going to have a bigger impact to the crypto market, that could maybe even explain why that much of bitcoins and assets in general are leaving the centralized exchanges. Think about that. And I said that so many times, and I'm going to tell you that over and over again. Always make questions before you push the buy or sell button. And only if you have the answer to this question, react with a solid trade strategy Don't let your emotions drive your trading. And that's what it seems happened to many persons yesterday. So let us go forward. So the weights ratio, 30 days moving average, and even the 1 day time frame. Do you see what happened? 30% yesterday. They just stopped. They knew what's going to happen. They just stopped. I mean, they started here and then another dump, indicating they stopped sending more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, while just before they started to send. So as a preparation for the next lift up and start to distribute. I said 27.5 should be the next retest level. And then we will maintain there and we will start to distribute, and afterwards the price will go down again, like Ripple did. In my opinion, we are still on track. Yeah, we did 28, but we are now, I don't know, where are we now at 27? 27.2. Okay, 27.2. You can see it was a little deviation. So they pushed up to almost 28,000 and started to decline. And maybe we are going up back to 27.5 to retest. If we fail, we will go down. And yes, I'm still expecting 22.23. And then we need to see, because this trend line is always showing us the solid direction of the price progress in the next month. Usually that's what's happening. So we see here that it doesn't look that great. Everything was looking very synchronized in my opinion. If we go forward, we can see that even we lift it up, even if we see that they short-term dump the weights ratio, even 1 hour time frame, indicating, hey, push up, hey, push up, hey, push up, hey, push up, even more. So preparation, just they know exactly. But what are these guys doing afterwards? Yeah, that's usually a nice indication of exit liquidity, while they are using more futures and selling more spot. And why do I know that? Because of the weights ratio 70 hours moving average. That's still at 88%. And that's really big, just indicating they are still sending more Bitcoins, more Bitcoins, more Bitcoins. Just only in little sequences. They stop and let the price go up. That's everything. Stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges lifted up also here a little bit, but it's maintaining a very low level. Even here, we don't see anything. That's the net flow from CryptoQuant. It's not the most solid one, to be honest, at least not for me. It's not just the indicator where I will trade with that. That's why I'm using other applications for that. But also here indicating nothing big happened. So let us go forward. And now we see, let me refresh, because this site is really dynamic. Well, it maintains here, but you see that in the last hour we received 3,000 Bitcoins in the last 4 hours. Well, it's a net flow, indicating the net flow of the last 1 hour is 3,000 Bitcoins. Means maybe we received 5,000, but we had 2,000 outflow, so the net flow is 3,000. And here in the last 4 hours, it's 2-3. The daily in general is still in favor of outflows. And that's what is wondering me when I check this here and it looks so green. And I say, what the hell is happening here? And as mentioned in the beginning, while you can see the Bitcoin balance on centralized exchanges, if you are smelling a fishy event related to the biggest centralized exchange in the world, what would you do as a whale? Take them out. Try to shift them to some, just in case of. maybe nothing happens, but just in case of. I mean, we had a warning shot in 2022 with the collapse of FTX. Do you think those guys are going to risk their millions and millions and millions in Bitcoins? I think not. And I think what we are seeing here is much more a bank run. A bank run that they are hiding using any kind, at the same time, any kind of new. It doesn't matter if it's good or not good, we will see, because that was actually also a pattern. But I can imagine they will use just to sell some Bitcoins and their remaining Bitcoins just to send to cold wallets, to other custodian services they trust more, or even their own wallets. That's also possible. If we check now the weights, inflows, outflows of exchanges, it looks really interesting, because we can see that the crypto was bearish, indicating they sent 460 millions in crypto. That's the net flow, so 460 millions more assets that they sent to centralized exchanges, but we didn't have a big cash out. Instead, they sent also more fiat to centralized exchanges. Usually, in that case, I can't tell you if it's in particular only centralized exchanges spot or also derivative, because if someone is sending 185 millions, or also sending more assets, maybe they are using Bitcoin collateral or just token collateral futures instead. So that's a big question. I don't know. The only thing what we can do here is just to check the data, and we have the pattern. Always it was looking very bearish with a bearish balance. Just 2 days ago it was almost neutral. Today I have to say, yeah, mainly neutral. It looks like someone is trying to support with fiat to maintain the price, but at the same time also sending a lot of crypto just to distribute. And here we can see of the last 24 hours what's happening, because that's 24 hours as you can see. And that's a bearish balance in the last 4 hours, a bearish balance in the last 1 hour. But yeah, it looks a little bit better in the 24 hours. In the last 12 hours, we can see that they sent 474 millions in USD and 500 millions out to centralized exchanges. They sent 435 millions worth Bitcoin to centralized exchanges, and they withdrew 200. That's bearish, indicating they are preparing to sell more, it seems. Ethereum, well, XRP, once again, I don't know why XRP is always here, relatively big. And if someone would ask me, hey, what do you think where I should spend in case I want, I would say really maybe XRP, because it's not the first time that I'm noticing that they are really just taking out from centralized exchanges more XRP than sending to centralized exchanges. It looks more bullish, like accumulation. I didn't check XRP in any chart, so I don't know. I didn't check them. I didn't any analysis, but just because of the ink block, it looks more, yeah, just more bullish. If we check here, I mean, obviously we pushed up very hard. What did I say? 49. I said that last week. We just need a sharp price move to the upside. Not big. I told even about $600-700 it would be enough to trigger FOMO, and it happened. At least the sentiment of the crypto market changed to 49, and we were at 35 or something. Today we can see the dominance of Bitcoin is at 48%, while they the performance of the Bitcoin price reduced from its 28,000 to 27.2 and minus 2.65%. If we now go forward, we can see, for example, here that also in the last 7 days, Binance, 1 month, received almost 900 millions. Now you could say, oh, that's not bad. It is, because it was just much more just before, and it reduced almost by 400 millions. Spot volume 4.8, or let us say 4.7 billions versus 24 hours open interest 6.8 billions. Someone on Twitter asked me if I could explain where the price is going to, in what direction it's going to go because of the open interest. It's not possible to know that. The open interest is just telling you how much volume they are creating with all the future contracts they are placing. That's the only thing. It doesn't say anything. It's price direction neutral. For what do you need? It's the funding rate, for example, or long-short ratio if the exchange is providing this data. But such questions are going to help me a lot just to create such kind of lessons on Phoenicia, because that's what I'm going to do mainly. So feel free if you have some ideas and you say, I would like to learn how to trade basically with 3-4 different instruments, indicators, just tell me that. I will create such scenarios and give you a better insight when it's bullish, when it's bearish, and so on and so forth. So anyway, let us go. I don't want to rush, but let us make a quicker progress here. Now we see that buy sells on crypto whales, it's still looking, well, I would say it's neutral. We see that BTC USD pair with 11.9%. I didn't remember when we have seen such a high percentage for BTC USD, indicating, in my opinion, they are selling BTC for USD. 56.1% TUSD. We will check what TUSD is doing. The pair on Binance, it's mainly Binance. And look what happened to USDT. 32.1%. That's huge. Bitfinex obviously is the only one, or between, well, Binance, it's not offering any USD pair, but Bitfinex. So they are using, it seems, the opportunity on Bitfinex and Tether. I don't like both, but that's another story. It lifted up 11.9%. Usually Binance, it's at 95-96%, declined at 88%, indicating someone was just cashing out yesterday, it seems, in US dollar. Maybe Tether? I hope they don't have any liquidity problems. That could be another red flag. So that's mainly it. If we check the block, on the block you see the open interest of CME Bitcoin futures by traders. Yeah, don't wonder, it's blue because I just track the hedge funds, those who are gamblers. And you can see that they are still doing the same. Shorts pushing up, and let us say from January, not even that, it's more longs doing that. Doesn't look great. Even hedge funds are more making a bet against Bitcoin. If we check here, we have now back 1.32 billions in shorts, while only 350 millions in longs, indicating they think it's better to short Bitcoin at the moment with 1 billion more. Now some people would say, yeah, Contago, so everything related to arbitrage could play here another role. Obviously it could, but the trend here is not pure arbitrage. Absolutely no. And you can do it for on both ways, right? So we can also check here now what happened yesterday. We see that we had a huge, relatively, I mean, we are talking about 1 hours, a huge demand for Tether, and it declined. And now you can also say here that the market cap is now just indicating they are cashing out and redeeming and burning. If we now check TUSD, it looks a little bit different. It went up and more up, and now it's maintaining. So that's it. So then let us see. Obviously, with the last big push up, what they did is create a huge open interest. How is that possible? You know how it's possible, because it's mainly driven by futures and supported by spot, and that explains why the open interest looks exactly the same like the Bitcoin price. While at the same time they liquidated 1,400 Bitcoins in shorts and almost 700 Bitcoins in longs. Thank you very much for high leverage longs and a lot of open interest, while the funding rate just lifted up a little bit. Also here, not indicating it's the aggregated, so not indicating anything big. If we now go forward, we can see that obviously with the last price change, we have also here now some changes. For example, long 60%, shorts 40%, shorts almost 1 billion, longs 1.4 billions on Binance, 61 to 39 related to Ethereum on Binance. And look, we received some more shorts related to Bitfinex with almost 37 millions. While also almost 100 millions and longs. Yeah, it's always, I don't know. So, in Bitfinex here also with 96.3% versus 96 to 4% on Ethereum, so nothing big to see here. And yeah, obviously that's almost it. So nothing big to tell related to futures at the moment. If you want, we can obviously, I didn't hear you, but I think you will. We can check here, for example, also the open interest, the funding rate of the last 8 hours. You know why 8 hours, and you know what funding rate say and means, indicating, as you know from today, that we have here a bigger demand for long, so they are buying longs, and with those demand they are unbalancing the Bitcoin future price with the spot price, the underlying asset, and that's why they have to pay to shorters. The same here, the same here, the same here, the same here, just as an incentive. So a penalty. They are taking out those funding rate fees and giving them to those who would balance the futures price, the shorters. And that's what they are doing. Except here, OKEX USDT, where it seems that here shorters will pay to longers, and also coin margin contracts here exactly the same, while Bybit is indicating they are shorting here big. So, but mainly related to stablecoins, they are indicating it's the opposite. So one follower just told me about DeFi and that he was noticing something really interesting. That was while the spot, so while they were rising the price with spot, they were shorting a lot. And he asked me how that would be possible. Well, with arbitrage, that's really easy to do. It means you are delta neutral, so you are buying spot at the same time you are using a short while the funding rate is up, so it's positive. Longers have to pay you because the price is bullish, so many are just longing, and they are receiving from the longers then funding rate fees, and that's the main income. Because while you are just buying spot, almost longing it, and at the same time shorting, it's delta neutral. It's what we call delta neutral, so means it doesn't have any effect. Okay, if the price goes up, your short is neutralizing the gain of your spot. If the price goes down, the short is neutralizing the the loss of your spot. But the main point here is you are receiving only if the funding rate is obviously positive and you are shorting with a delta neutral strategy, means it's your main income. You can do that only if you are moving a lot of money. Otherwise, it's not going to make you happy, and also not going to spend you a new Lambo. Anyway, that's it. Let us go forward. So unfortunately, I need to wait a little bit, and here we go. Great. We see now something have changed. So now bulls are demanding 27k. That's what they are demanding. Otherwise 27.5. Otherwise 28k. That would be their resistance. Support at the moment their resistance is isn't where the support area is 27k at the moment. So to break down, it would be a little bit difficult, but possible. If you have that and you want to sell, it's huge because you can sell a lot, and it's not going to be easy to break that 27k then. Anyway, we have a resistance at 28 and we have a support at 27, while the bears are just wishing and demanding 27k. Their last relatively big support area would be 25. If we check now the gags, it's indicating that with 166,000 we have a lot more space to the downside than to the upside. But why 27k? Does that make sense? Yes, it makes. I will show you why. September 29th, quarterly expiry. Max pain is at 27k. You know that? You remember when I said quarterly should have a better impact to the price? 27k is something we should have in mind. So if you think, does that mean we will stay at 27k until end of the month? Not necessary. We can go up, we can go down, but at the end the max pain is 27k and it keeps being 27k, indicating at the end we should stay at 27k until the quarterly expiry is done. So if we check now here, premium USD, we see bear call spread, bearish, 1.6 million, short risk reversal, shorts based on options, 1.2 million, short straddle, boring strategy, bull call spread, bullish, we will see. We start with a bear call. The bear call spread, it's indicating here, if we check, wow, 7 sides, that's a lot. Well, it's not looking that bearish, to be honest, because they are expecting to see until mid of September a price below 30k, but also indicating we can go to 30k. And maybe 30k calls and 32k calls were extremely cheap, and that's why they are doing that. So I'm checking where the big money is. It seems here, for example, 31, 33 until end of the year. 28.30 until end of October. So the bear call spread is indicating they are, as you can see, it's not looking that bearish, but they are expecting to see a price below 31k, always with a lower strike. Also here 33, 31 indicating a price below 31k, below 28k. So that's what they are indicating here. Let me show. Yeah, that's almost it. Also here below 28k until end of October. So not that bearish. They are indicating, hey, if it's the main strategy is here to say the price has to be below 31k. Then I'm making money. And if the strike 31k was cheap, for example, then it makes sense. I mean, it was yesterday. I'm not sure if it was really that cheap, but yeah. Short risk reversal. That's going to be a very interesting one. Yes, it's not huge, but they are indicating, for example, here that until end of October they are expecting to see a price below of 25k. That's the main bet. The liquidation level will be 30k until end of October. So if we break 30k and we go up, this guy here will lose money, and that's the biggest one. And but it says here short risk reversal. Four sides. Jesus. Also here. Wow, we have much more. For example, here. They are expecting here, for example, put 26k and call 33k. They sold the call, they bought the put. Makes sense. While the price is going up, the put call, the put instrument is becoming cheaper, while the call is becoming more expensive. So it makes sense to sell them. And anyway, I mean, if we check that, 200 lots was, wow, much more than 200 lots in call. Maybe I'm here a little bit. It wasn't a big sale then, it seems. But usually that should happen. But 26, 30, 26, 30, 26, 30. A lot of money involved here. It seems indicating they are just making a bet that we will break 26k until end of September. That's crazy. Bull call spread, it's the last one. Where's the bull call spread? Where are you, bull call spread? Here's the bull call spread. Let me check the bull call spread. So 7 sides. Once again, 39.29. Here indicating bull call spread is the opposite, indicating the upper strike. So in that case, it's indicating until end of the year we should break the 39k. Well, let us check. That's retail, 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 retail. Okay, that's really everything, almost retail. But also here indicating until end of October we should break 30k. That's the biggest here. Yeah, we should break 30k. God, it's not big at all. But also here indicating we should break 35k until end of this month. Yeah, well, not this month, next month, it's September. But that's it. Really confusing, to be honest, but let's go forward. So now we can check the CBDs. First of all, let us check BNB. BNB, look, also very interesting. So they were front running it. They pushed mainly with futures, it seems, and that's almost it. That's how it looks like related to CBD. If we check here, it's also very interesting. Look what Bitcoin collateral futures did. They pushed up. They started to short immediately afterwards. So also Tether pairs and BUSD, but mainly Tether. They started here and they are distributing at the moment. That's what the price is also indicating. So at the moment, the price is being held by stablecoin futures and USD, it seems more. So maybe they didn't distribute, but someone were just using USD to push up the price, or at least right now to maintain. If we check here, we see TUSD. Look what TUSD is doing. Thank you very much. I can distribute even more. That's what they are indicating. That's the aggregated, crazy, Bitcoin collateral and stablecoin collateral futures. That's the PUSD. Also pushed up here, almost the whole distributed, it seems. We see Bitfinex. So Bitfinex at the moment just lifting up more. We see here Bybit with BTC USDT also distributed very well. We see here Coinbase. That explains maybe why the USD pair is lifting up. So Coinbase didn't distributed everything. Also here something we need to be careful. It wouldn't be the first time that Coinbase afterwards it's nuking with all these bitcoins. Well, Bitstamp, BTC, USD also here pushed up. They are not even distributing at the moment. The same here related to Kraken. Gemini, very interesting. They used the opportunity to sell, it seems, even more. Well, no, not really. They missed, it seems, the biggest part, and now lifting up. Okay, it seems it's more retail. And yeah, if we check here, obviously we have here a support area. So that's where we bounce a little bit. Usually we are creating here now the next POC at 27,400, 27,379. If we don't break to the upside, that should push up back to 28,400 maybe or above. Then we should go down back to 26.5, then even back to 26, and then start to pray that the whole market is going to hold. Otherwise we will go back to 25k. I have showed you the funding rate, so that's it. Let us go forward. So let us check here. Coinbase gave me Coinbase, and we are using 12 hours. I really like that 12 hours. Look what happened. So they were here waiting, and it seems they distributed very well after they started to distribute. How I know they distributed? Because this kind, I mean, we touched. So they triggered the sell order here, and close afterwards they refilled the order, usually with the expectation, hey, push up even more and we will sell there more. They didn't. Afterwards we can see that right now nothing more happened. They removed liquidity here. So if we start, if they start to remove also the liquidity here, we will go finally hitting 20k. Bitstamp, BTC USD at the moment, well, what should I say, a lot of liquidity waiting below of 20k, still here waiting with some protection liquidity at 23.8 and 25, otherwise here something like a 30k and so on and so forth. So Binance BTC USDT, you can see that here nothing big have changed. They didn't even remove a lot of liquidity, just shifted a little bit more lower to 23,500. They removed here liquidity and shifted down to 18 or 17.5. Also very interesting. They have just here 30k. They relocated some sell orders, some volume here now, 358 bitcoins waiting, but that's mainly it. Now BTCT USD on Binance, where, as you see, the liquidity is waiting here, 26.2. So if you want to sell more, you need to go more down. And if you check the CBD, it looks like that's exactly what they are looking for. It was related to TUSD, much more an exit liquidity operation. As you can see, even the big red candle is red, indicating that the volume delta there was not supporting the price up, but distributing. Now BTC BUSD, for example, looks a little bit different. Anyway, they are protecting everything above of 28.5 with sell orders, otherwise at 25 with liquidity. Also here they are bringing some liquidity, also relocating, and everything below 17k. I would like to know what happens if we are going to break 15k next time when we go more down. Those who said I'm the counter indicator. BTC USD on Bitfinex. On Bitfinex you can see nothing here. They removed a lot of liquidity. The next one would be 20,400. That's almost it. The biggest sell order would be at 33, with some at 32 and some sell orders at 30. OKEX spot BTC USDT. At the moment, nothing to see. It's more algorithm. I don't see here, yeah, more algo stuff than, so nothing really. So BTC USD on Kraken, where we see that also here, for example, sell orders between 29 and 30k, and otherwise at 25k some liquidity waiting, otherwise the big concentration at 24. Qcoin at 25, and that's it, so nothing big. BitMEX is also still waiting at 25, and now bringing, it seems, because those are here related to those algorithm, but this one doesn't look like, at 22.2 waiting to buy. And if we reduce a little bit the liquidity or the volume, you can see here also they were here just playing around. Now it looks more in favor of push up instead, but it's not big. It's I think more algo stuff. So derivatives, BTC USD on Bybit. We see here just nothing, only if we check the candle, 33 millions up. Okay, now BTC USDT, for example. I was looking for the CBD and also here. So we see here, for example, 10,000 bitcoins in longs, it seems. Crazy. Now BTC USDT on Binance, also here you will notice always 19,500 bitcoins volume delta in favor of longs. That's really crazy, really crazy. Also very interesting that they, for example, used here 47,000 to push down and only 19 to push up. So BTC BUSD, for example, also here, also the CBD indicating it's going more down, but also no big protection areas. BTC perp on Bitfinex, usually you will never see here something because it's almost algo stuff. Kraken futures, look that they were just protecting, don't go more up. OKEX futures, BTC USD, it seems that here we have a 24k, the next big long position. And Qcoin also here, for example, nothing to see, absolutely nothing. And last but not least, Deribit. And on Deribit, also interesting, they were here with some algos. They removed a lot, they triggered a lot of shorts, really a lot of shorts, and now it's declining the price, so we will see. That's almost it, and we go to, so now we are basically done for today. I have mentioned that in the past, now I have to mention it again. I'm going to take vacation, so it's the last analysis for this week, and next week I will try to provide Wednesday another analysis, and then afterwards let me check, because I'm going to be back Tuesday 19th, so it's going to be hard for me and for you, hopefully, but yeah, it's time to take some vacation after 4 years, you know, where I was non-stop working, making, creating, and so on and so forth. Now it's time to take a rest, and but afterwards, full Phoenicia Finance, Phoenicia, yeah, that's another thing, but Phoenicia Academy, and obviously I will keep providing my analysis. I will, you know, I'm preparing hopefully some gems for you. And yeah, as you have noticed, I will attend to the European Blockchain Convention in Barcelona at the end of October, and I look forward to be there, not only because I love this city, but it's going to be wow, just incredible nice. I will be there. So if you are looking to meet me in Barcelona, if you are going, if you want to attend also to the European blockchain convention, and you say, hey, if you are going to be there, let us meet, let us have a chat there, because something is to hear you, something else is to read you, but completely different to see you. So you are absolutely welcome. Just DM me on Twitter if you want to meet me. And yes, that's basically what I wanted to say. Well, what is the price indicating me? The price at the moment is just indicating me they are in distribution. As I just mentioned, 27.5, start to distribute, maintain there, and then go down again, while I still think, because the quarterly expiry is really important, it's one of the most important with the end of the year, and the last quarterly expiry on options, that's December. We have a firework outside, so that's why my dogs are so alarming right now. So in my opinion, at the end of September, we will see 27k. Maybe we will maintain until end of September at 27k. I really don't think that will happen, because they pushed up that hard. I guess they will distribute even more and use the same situation, and maybe end of September push up once again to 27 to just touch the max pain level, and then that's it. I guess for October we have a max pain of 26, but October, November, the max pains and the expiries are not that important, but the December one. And then December is, in my opinion, 27. So maybe we will maintain and play a little bit up, down, up, down. Would be nice if you're a swing trader. Nice opportunities. Big love, your inspo, and yeah, we will see us hopefully next week, Wednesday, and trade carefully. Obviously, I mean, it's inspo. I will try, I don't want now to lose my connection to Twitter again, so I will check some news and I guess make some comments and retweet, but that's going to be, obviously, even in my iPhone, I have almost all indicators and apps there. So in case of I see something alarming, I will share. If you don't see or hear from me, it's a good thing. So big love. Your inspo.